Pain, loss, suffering. These things often shape the first steps in a hero's journey, but just as often, they are the origins of a villain. Loen's insult to a god had provoked just such a loss.
Mara! Mara! Creature, please! Not her!
Loen dropped to the ground beside his daughter, tears streaming from his face. His tears did not change the prideful heart of a naive Euro, but his sorrow was noticed by another. Loen stared at his daughter, his hand still trying to cover the wound in her chest. Mara's breathing stilled, and her struggles ceased. The breath belongs to me. I take back only what I am owed. Know this, had you bent the knee and prostrated yourself as the mongrel flesh you were so pitifully born into, I might have shown mercy. But even now, as you raise your eyes and glare at me in defiance, you insult my divinity. I have known men desirous of pain, men who do not know when the time to yield is upon them, men who gobble up misery and despair until they are fat with it. You have fallen in with the worst of them. By Euro's constant speeches, degrading the life of a man that had lost everything, it would be fully expected that it would be a mere matter of time before the man snapped. Euro's final words had that effect upon Loen. He heaved himself up with a cry and charged once more, his blade ready to smite a god. The greatest failing of sorrow and rage is the foolishness that makes one believe that failure is only caused by a lack of will. Though Loen's will to strike Euro down was greater, the result was as futile as before. In a mighty flash of brilliant blue light, Loen was struck, only seeing the same light curl around his daughter's lifeless form before all turned to black in his vision, and unconsciousness freed him from the depths of his despair.
Episode 2. The Friend.
The nature of a bar is a place to unburden oneself. The nature of a human lies in the truth that misery loves company. Men will compare their sufferings in vain attempts to evoke wonder at their pain, but more the attempts of one to outdo the next in extreme details of woe. In this bar, 3 men would instead attempt to outdo one another in what can only be described as sheer idiocy.
Come off your high horse, Cassian. Make-believe is fit for lazy children in the field.
Aye, Godwine. I'm inclined to say the same of him. Cassian, you're as likely to walk us into a theatre as I am to grow hair upon my head.
Unpolished clods. That's what you two are, Arne. I'll admit, were it not for Lara's constant leading, I'd be as dim-witted as you both insist to remain. The truth is, I stepped into a world of fanciful bliss and did not leave until the troupe came on stage and bowed their thanks. It was at that moment I knew I was destined for greatness.
How, Cassian? By attempting to recapture the rapture of a drunken fool, inspired by poor talent?
Nay, but rather to become a thespian of the highest order.
Is running headlong into foolishness fit when death's merchant wanders the land?
What's that then, Godwine? What lies are you spewing forth now?
Rumors are a man struck a deal with death, agreeing to wander the land and find fitting prey.
The Church of Euro remains desperate to drum up signs of the end of days.
The church does so every year, Arne, and it's always near time, the festival of the gods.
Sounds like talk of ghosts from the north. Word is Mayor Rezia from Winlaven has lost his town to them.
Not ghosts, but spectres. Spectres possess you. Once you agree. Ghosts, they just haunt you.
Thus deplorable nature prevails over any basic intelligence. And yet, these men could now claim responsibility for having pushed the right man in the wrong direction at the worst time. Loen Stalric entered the bar. As anyone in full possession of their mental capacities could tell, this was not the same Loen that we had seen cradling his dead daughter's frail form. In his place was a man that looked much the same, aside from a far fiercer look in his eyes, and all of what gave a man life seemingly gone. He signalled the serving girl to bring him a mug of ale, and spotted the three men, walking to their table and seating himself.
Strangers, my name is Loen. I come seeking information.
If you've come seeking to become a properly refined gentleman, fate has truly taken a shine to you, my friend. We're just discussing how to begin our climb up the ladder of greatness.
The two friends of Cassian glowered at their friend as a flicker of confusion sparked across Loen's face.
I apologize, but I've not come seeking fame. I come hearing rumors of a witch with the ability to tell the future.
While not all action in the bar halted, only a scant few men continued conversation. Loen's three new friends stared at him, mouths hanging agape. Clearly, Loen had affronted men of a superstitious nature. Men that worshipped me.
Friend, I fear you're a mere stranger to have come to Polhaven, seeking a terrible power. Idalia is outlawed and hated by all.
But you have heard of her.
Silence yourself, stranger, lest you be removed. Idalia and all that associate with her are not welcome in Polhaven. This town follows the Moon Master, not humans pretending to powers they do not grasp.
Loen's perspective on the room had begun to change. He was in a room full of devout followers of a would-be god that had mercilessly taken his children from him. If he were a calmer man, he might have restrained himself.
You fools worship a devil?
A younger Loen would be more reasonable, but not this broken man. Instead, drawing his sword and pointing it at Cassian, he stared with a fire raging behind his eyes.
Where is the witch?
You dare not. The men, they'll stop you.
Loen thrust his sword forward, piercing the man's shoulder. Cassian cried out in pain. In that instant, the men in the bar near Loen lunged for him. Loen whipped his blade back and took another man in the leg. The man screamed pitifully and fell forward as Loen sheathed his weapon and addressed the men in the room.
I ask one last time. Ere the floors of this bar run crimson with needless blood, where is the witch?
Hold, sir, I beg you. For this fool's sake and for that of his friends, please. Idalia's residence is outside the city. She has been threatened with death if she returns.
Very well. I will need a guide.
As if on cue, Loen's actions came back to make him regret. The men that feared his blade attacked once the weapon disappeared. Loen, seeing the error of his ways, shoved the first man back and drew his sword once more. The battle was swift. Loen, though strong, was no match for the 10 or so men that were eager to avenge their insulted god. But even still, all gave pause when Loen ran 2 men through with his blade. Silence filled the room, as though every man had been struck dumb. Loen, with fear in his eyes, began to back away. With a shout of anger, Cassian ran to his 2 friends, Godwine and Arne, whose intercessions had moments before saved Cassian's life.
I am truly sorry, but none may interfere in my path.
May the Moon Master have mercy upon you, stranger. For I swear upon my life, I will not. I will hunt you down and cut you down where you stand, ere you find the witch and conclude your business with her.
Do not prevent me from my task. I will not allow you to stand where your friends fell. You will join them.
With the utterance of those words, Cassian's own sword was drawn. Loen, however, was intelligent enough to recognize his own mistakes. He spun, dashing for the exit of the bar, chased by its occupants. Loen made himself scarce in moments. Left to contemplate the consequences of his impulsiveness, Loen's thoughts drifted back to the night of his loss. The night that one who would be a god sealed his own fate through pride. Loen woke that morning with a brief and blissful moment, having forgotten the carnage strewn about him. His first thought was that he had merely had a nightmare, which was compounded by the lack of the bodies of his children.
Waylon? Mara? Mattis! Show yourselves!
Begging for his children's death to have been in his imagination, Loen fearfully looked over the ground near him, seeing no sign of his children. Cold dread settled over him. Loen ran with utmost speed to his cottage. His knees buckled when he saw the bodies of his animals and the rubble where his house once stood.
No. My children. My wife. No!
What words can be said to bring back the dead? Knowing what I know now, could I have saved the family of an innocent man that I had wronged, I would have done so. Alas, pride cannot undo mistakes. Loen remained on his knees for well over an hour, tears flowing freely. He implored that if any had the power to, he would offer his life for those of his family. Unknown to me, one far worse than I heard Loen's call. Loen rose to his feet and set his sights on going to the village for aid. His journey was full of the sighs and groans of a man beyond his breaking point, and his teeth gnashed at the thought of the one that brought him to it. Loen arrived in the village of Wynlaven close to the time of the setting sun. The sight was welcome to his exhausted frame. With a cry of horror, townswoman Morelli dashed forward to him as he collapsed in the street near her home.
Loen, what happened? Are you safe?
Morelli? It is good to see you again.
Leofrin, grab me water. Ezra and Dorian, help me carry him to bed. And stir the food and bring a plate for him.
Morelli's firm words and guidance brought a sense of purpose and alacrity to the townspeople, who hastened to do her bidding. The only one to resist was her patient.
My children, Morelli. They're gone.
Children?
Morelli, some creature came to my house and killed them.
Since when have you had children, Loen? Had you and Idalia done so before her death?
A pang of terror gripped Loen's heart, and he barely kept his voice steady.
I had 3. You know this, Leofrin.
Loen, you've lived in your poor cottage all alone for years.
What? No. I had a wife. Her name was Idalia, and we had 3 children, Waylon, Mattis, and Mara. Where are they?
My friend, I swear by the sun and moon that in my years of knowing you, while you were married, I knew of no children.
And there it was, the moment when a pretender god had truly gone too far. Loen had lost his family and he seemed to have lost his mind. Sobbing, he allowed the townsmen to carry him inside Morelli's home. But ere he drifted to sleep after dinner, he made a terrible bond.
I offer myself to any being that can help me destroy the one that has taken my life from me. I will give you anything you ask of me and die, if need be. But I demand my revenge on the devil that thinks he is a god.
And in the dark of Loen's dreams, an answer came. No creature, but a terrible voice.
Human, if you wish for assistance, rise. Sorrow is expected, but weakness is forbidden.
With a look of shock and with wonderment spreading across his features, Loen shakily rose to his feet.
What being are you? I ask if you bring my children to me.
Loen Stalric, it is not in the power or desire of one such as myself to bring the dead back to life. I can but offer one thing.
Sir, please. I beg of you, bring back those I have lost. I cannot live without them.
I did not come to offer pity or miracles, Stalric. I offer vengeance.
No, I cannot accept this. Surely there is one that can bring back my family.
Stalric, compose yourself. Your family may have been a grievous loss, but you make it pointless should you fail to prevent this fate for others.
Only to prevent further loss? I reject that. He should pay. He should restore what he took.
And yet, this is not his wish. As this world's false god, his desire is the law.
So we leave the rule in the hands of a madman. This cannot be. What are the means of vengeance you offer?
I offer you 2 paths. First, you may swear to me, body and soul. I shall grant you the power to gain your vengeance. I shall give you the strength to challenge any that would stand in your way. You will grow in power until you may challenge him.
No, that shall not be. I will not swear myself to what I do not understand. I do not find myself trusting the words spoken by creatures of shadow. Find another.
Then I offer you the second path, hidden from my own sight, but still visible to the few that serve me. A weapon exists that may be used to strike down one such as the Moonmaster.
A weapon? Do you know where I might find it?
A former servant of mine knows where it is hidden, or knows one that does. Her name is Idalia, and she is now considered a witch. She has rejected me, but should you come close enough to her, I can command her to aid you. Should you find the weapon, you may use it to strike down any enemy.
Then I choose the latter. I will find this weapon and kill the Moon Master.
Swear that you will search out the weapon and strike down Euro, and I will ensure you have aid along your way.
I swear I shall find the weapon and claim vengeance. No more and no less.
Should you find yourself at death's door, my offer stands. Accept my bond, and I shall give you the strength to resist the grave.
I shall give up anything and everything I own, so long as I may force the return of my family. But I shall not offer myself to your service.
Loen's time of reflection led him deeper into the forest outside of town as he scanned the area around him for any sign of a dwelling. A blade was at Loen's throat ere he could react. His reflexes were useless against the speed of his attacker. He froze.
When a man wanders the outskirts of this town, he only has one purpose, and it is seldom worth the effort he puts into his search.
But when one has nothing to lose, any help will seem worth the effort or risk, as others may see it. May I know the name of the one whose blade rests at my throat, that I may know who seeks my death.
My name is of little concern. My calling is of more interest.
Which is?
I seek a witch, to end her life and claim her bounty. What brings you out so close to danger?
I seek a place to rest from my journey.
Do not hide yourself from the truth, fool. You seek Idalia the witch. Why?
My mission and the danger it poses does not permit me to say.
My calling and business make the reason important. Tell me now.
Because she can help me avenge my family.
That answers nothing. What can she do?
My family was murdered by a monster. She will help me find a weapon that can kill it.
Loen saw his attackers shift in focus from the weapon at his throat. He dropped to the ground, avoiding the blade and pulling his own from its sheath. He stood opposite the woman, watching her carefully.
You should not have done that. Whether you need the witch alive or not, your actions speak of violence, and my response shall be the same to you.
The woman struck first, her sword hurtling forward and striking Loen's forearm. With a grunt of pain, he retreated. She followed, lunging again and landing a second strike against his arm, barely an inch from the first. Loen found his chance and counterattacked, his blade knocking away the woman's third strike before following with a thrust that very nearly impaled her. She slid to the side, ramming his sword into his neck. Loen coughed out in pain as blood spurted from his neck. The woman sheathed her weapon and walked forward as Loen collapsed.
Idalia has hurt too many, and she would have done so to you. Some have seen the power she exerts, but only one escaped, and he demanded her death at my hand. I am sparing you from the greater suffering than she would inflict. May your death be swift.
Loen's life was slipping away, but he heard every word. He remembered the offer.
Please, I accept your bond. I pledge to serve you whatever you may bestow upon me. Please, I swear it. Give me the strength to push forward. I shall not abuse what is given me.
In a flash of light, Loen felt the wounds on his neck and forearms seal. His strength returned and he stood. The woman stared at him, and though she was clearly shocked, she drew her blade again and faced him. Loen charged forward. The woman blocked his strike and countered with a thrust at his neck once again, but Loen caught it in his hand, drawing blood. Not a moment later, the same flash of light appeared and his hand was healed once more. He pulled the woman's sword towards him and held his own to her throat. The woman froze.
Real, what are you?
I do not know of who you speak.
My master, and the goddess I serve.
Gods do not exist, only demons.
It matters little. What are you?
My name is Loen. Thanks to your efforts, I have been forced to make a deal with a demon.
I am Rhiala, and I'm here to claim Idalia's bounty. I had no intent of hurting you, had you not forced my hand. Your violence and its consequences rest on your head.
It matters not. I offer a compromise on our disagreement. I must speak with the witch first. I may not be able to prevent you from killing her, but she must answer me.
You invite death upon yourself by speaking with her. But I can abide by that rule.
Allies, then.
The two shook hands and had moved forward only a few steps when the bushes parted. A young woman stepped through, staring at them with piercing red eyes.
You seek Idalia? And here she is.
I seek a weapon to kill a god. Your former master demands you obey.
A look of fury crossed the woman's face as she backed away.
You are his servant? I remember when I was where you stood, offering everything I had to receive what I knew was rightfully mine. Believe me, his price is too high.
Witch, I ask you again for aid.
What weapon does he seek?
You are both children. You are not fit to wield the weapon.
Yet I am chosen to bear it. I owe our master's enemy a painful death. The Moon Master took my family from me. I mean to gain justice.
You ask for your own destruction.
As though his honor was challenged, the voice of vengeance spoke through the minds of Loen and Idalia, each word seeming to shake the ground beneath them.
Idalia, traitor! He is my servant and worthy of your knowledge. Do not hide what is entrusted.
Yes, master. The weapon resides in our master's temple. Travel to the festival of gods and look upon the burning mountain at sunset. There is a scholar named Rhiala that can help you find the mountain.
Have you anything further to offer me?
You don't have to speak anymore. You have claimed enough innocence. That time is over.
The shouts of men cut off the rest of what the witch would have said. Loen and Rhiala looked with concern in the direction of the commotion. Twigs snapped as the sound of shouting grew closer.
The heretic has gone to the witch seeking aid! Come now! Let us fall upon him and kill him! For Godwine! For Arne! For the honor of the Church of the Moon!
Idalia turned to flee, but Rhiala's blade was through her throat before anyone could react. She sheathed it and grabbed Loen's arm. As they fled the scene, neither saw the body turn to dust and flow away.
What did you do to bring the Church of the Moon Master after you?
I demanded directions to the witch and called Euro a devil. The men at the tavern threatened me, and I killed two.
That was the most reckless thing a fool could do.
I lost my children and wife. That was the kindest thing I could have done.
Tell me this. Can you verily say that Uro did this?
I am certain.
Rhiala nodded her head. Her intentions had been to claim her bounty, but if a god was abusing his power, she felt compelled to keep him in check.
I will assist you, but we must separate. I have need to contact a friend in the city to help us. If you will have me, let us resolve here and now to meet at the crossroads that will lead to the city of Devin.
The capital city? Ah, where the Festival of Gods is held. Will that not be dangerous to move in on their territory?
Possibly, but the celebrations may mask our movement. Are we in agreement?
Agreed. Travel safely, Witchslayer. May our reunion be as safe as our parting.
Loen turned and ran along the path away from the men hunting him. He practically flew as he ran. He had no notion of where to go, only where he needed to be when dawn broke. Finally pausing to catch his breath, Loen looked around. He was in a small clearing. The sounds of his pursuers were near, footsteps echoing across the forest floor, scouring for any sign of him. A familiar man rushed into the clearing, followed by a mere boy. Cassian stared at the man that had killed his friends.
Loen, my promise to slay you ere you met Idalia has been broken, but I'm eager to redress that. Face me, villain.
I bear no ill will to you, Cassian, but you withheld information I needed, and they paid the price. Flee, else I tear you in pieces.
Cassian and the boy both stared at Loen. Then the two charged. Swords aloft, they both moved to strike at the same time. Loen stepped back and drew his own blade. His first blow struck Cassian in the leg, knocking the man to the ground. The boy attacked, his blade landing a clean strike against Loen's sword arm. Loen dropped his sword in pain, but another flash of light healed him. Loen seized the boy and threw him to the ground. The boy screamed as his legs snapped. Loen turned to Cassian.
You should not have come for me, Cassian. Your family will die for your foolhardiness.
No! No! Leave my family out of this. They've done nothing. Take me instead.
Loen reeled at the words. He recalled saying similar words to an unfeeling god and begging for his family's life. He hesitated.
I demand death!
Loen was shaken. He could not resist the call for death, but he changed one thing. Drawing his sword, an inhuman strength rushed through his arms, moving with a grace he did not recognize. His sword slapped through Cassian's neck, cleaving the bone and cleanly severing the head from the body. The head rolled to face the boy where he sat, the bones in his legs sticking out through the skin. Panting from shock and terror, Loen collapsed to the ground near him. The boy screamed as his father died. Tears streamed down his face as he faced Loen in rage.
I will end your life, devil. I swear it.
Do not threaten me, boy. A life was called for, yours or your father's. But more than that, a life was spared, as he asked. You have a chance at a good life. Should you try to stop me, your mother will lose a son as well as her husband.
She's dead, monster! My mother is dead.
One often creates for others the trials and sorrows he suffers himself. Misery loves company. Loen looked in sorrow to the child he had orphaned, a boy who had lost everything, just like him.
I'm sorry, lad. Your loss is grievous, but I have a god to kill. I swear on my life that I did not wish to kill your father. Live better than I did, and be wiser in your enemies than he was.
Loen walked away as the sounds of more shouting men neared. He pulled his sword from Cassian's body and sheathed it, and began to run. Tomorrow, he would meet Rhiala and they would begin the journey again. Tomorrow his quest would continue. But tonight, he would wallow in misery, knowing he had killed the innocent to avenge the innocent. What words can be said to fix such a mistake? What words can be said to atone for killing for the sake of killing or for pride? In my years as the Moon Master, I have never been able to find an answer to this question.